Hello everyone, this is umonox, and you may have noticed my Digitakt videos from the last couple of days where I've did some techno and stuff like that with it. And yeah, I decided I should start a little video series and show you guys how I'm working with the Digitakt when I'm creating a track. And so this new series of videos right now is meant to show you the process of creating a track from start to finish on the Electron Digitakt. I will go through a lot of different things, how I create the drums and everything, build up the arrangement and stuff like that. And I will all cover this in various different videos. And to begin with, I want to start creating the chords for this new track that we are about to create. And first things first, I have no clue, no idea in which direction this track is moving. And this is also true for when I'm actually working on these things, because I mostly don't have an idea for what kind of track I want to do. And I just go in, start with something, and yeah, just see where it leads to. The first thing, as said, I want to create some chords with the Digitakt, and because the Digitakt's tracks are monophonic, we will reconstruct the chord by using several different tracks. And first let's go in here and let's create a new project so that we can start from scratch. And for the creation of these chords, I want to use samples that come shipped with the Digitakt, and those are the single cycle waveforms. Now I'm selecting them right here in the factory toolbox oscillators folders, and let's quickly find something that we can use. I think I will take the square one just for now, and I set this thing up by selecting it and just in the source right here setting it to play a loop. I have to turn down the levels of these tracks for now, just to make sure that this is all working. So I'm bringing this thing down to like 40. Let's have a listen. This is basically the waveform we want to use, and I do this for the other tracks as well, bringing it down to 40. And just bring this acid square right here into each and every track, activating the loop. So here we go. Yeah. Now to find chords that work for the purpose, I'm using a website which is called 8notes.com, and they have a chord finder, a piano chord finder inside, which is not just great for finding out which chord you are playing when you play a chord, more or less how this chord is named, how it's called. But it's also great to try it out and try around and try to find some chord progressions if you don't have software like Cubase, which has things like this built inside. And I'll quickly show you this. I found a chord progression in the meantime that I think might suit our needs for this purpose. So I will start with an A B major 7. This one sounds like this. Then we will use a D sharp major 7 or D flat major 7, depends, I think. Sounds like this. Yeah, I will then go to a D minor 7 and I will play the first inversion of this thing, which sounds like this. And finally I go back to the A B major 7 and play, I think, the third inversion of it. Or maybe, first inversion? Sounds like this. Yeah, this is something we will try out on the Digitakt later. Now, you can see that I've organized this in, just some tabs up here. This is just easier for me to find out which chords I want to play in which order, you know. So the painful process now comes first. We have to go in and we have to program that very chord inside. And from an earlier test on the Digitakt, I've noticed that the chords are sounding a little bit better when I'm not starting at C3, but when I'm starting an octave higher, because I want to go down. So basically what I'm now doing is I have these 3 tracks, 4 tracks I mean, and I will start to enter the notes necessary for the chords. So we start with an A B major 7. Yeah, and the first note right here would be a G flat 2. I guess it's flat because it's going down or up. I don't know. Really, I have no clue about music theory. This is why I'm using such charts. But anyway, so the next note is on C. This is C4. Actually, let's see, G2 is too low. It has to be G3. This is C4. And the next note in this chord is D sharp 4. And the final note for this chord would be a G4 in that case. When we play them all together, it sounds like this. So this is basically the first chord for this thing, and to get it running, I extend the pattern real quick and go inside and just place a step for each and every track. And here we go. Now I start adding in this progression, this chord progression, by parameter locking steps on the second bar with the new notes which are necessary for that. So I go to my computer and I switch the tab of my browser, and I see that the next chord is a D sharp or D flat major 7. So we started on C4 before, and I want to go down, so it's actually a D flat major 7, I think. So to go down, I will alter the notes by taking this first note, and the first note of this new chord would be, by the looks of it, a D sharp 3, I think. The next note is a G3. Yet again the next note. This is an A sharp 3. And the final note is a little bit higher. This is a D4. And if you play this thing back, it sounds like this. See, it's going down. Comes pretty close to what we have in our chart. And now to get the next chord running, I have to copy this pattern and have to paste it right here. And on this one I can go inside here, and we do not have these notes parameter locked on the first bar, so I have no necessity of repeating this process. So I go to the first track and just change these notes directly, and the first inversion of the D minor 7 that I want to use, yet again, starting from C, going down a little bit, would be an F3 now. The second note would be an A3. Third note would be the C4. And the fourth note would be the D4. And this would sound like this. And now let's go to the final thing. The final chord, and I want to go back to A B major 7, and now we have C. Do I want to play the third inversion or do I want to play the first inversion? And this is something I will try out now. So I go in here and let's see. Go to this. No, this was right. So right here. So I go to C4. I will try to I will try to play the third inversion, which is going up in that case a little bit. At least in our case it's going up. Yeah, I'm on the wrong track. So let's do a C4. On the next track, let's do a D4 flat, D flat 4, DG, I don't know, D sharp 4 or something. Yet again on the next track we do a G4, and on the final track we do the G sharp 4. And I was wrong in what I've told you before. This is not the third inversion, this is the first inversion. So let's play this thing back. It would sound like this. And if we listen to this in conjunction with each other, let's have a listen. Yeah, I think this is cool. And now to get this chord, I start to record it. And first thing is I set int L plus R so that I'm internally resampling. And I repeat the same process what I just did. I hit yes to record, to arm the recorder, and now I hit play to record the whole chord progression. Okay, so that's it. This is our chord progression. Yeah, and now comes the part where I have to trim these down. I could use the loop the way it is and just throw it on top, you know, but I don't actually want to do this. I want to keep the individual chords as individual samples, so it's easy to trigger them later. So I will quickly trim this one, and I also rename this thing now and call it C1 for chord number 1, because I'm simply too lazy to actually put in the name of that chord. You could do this, obviously, but I'm not so keen on doing it. I'm also not assigning these to any track right now, because we will do this later. Just skipping this. Okay, here we go. So our chords are now saved, and we have them. And while we are at it, we can first clear this recorder and try something different. Now, to get a little bit of a variation going on with these chords, I'm also trying to get this variation by switching waveforms of different notes. So, yeah, I will show you what I mean. First, let's go to this first pattern again. And now let's load a couple more samples here from this factory toolbox. Maybe Amigo, Anderson. Oh, come on. Classic, clef, curly, I don't know. Just something. Have absolutely no idea how this will sound, but yeah, just switch these things around a little and just randomly switching them around and trying to find out how it sounds. Let's have a listen. Not different. It's not so different, I think. Let's try this. Probably a bit too high. Let's try this. Yeah. This one's a little bit too strong. Let's try another one here. What sample is this? Bright. We have to assign them here as well. Yeah, so what have we done? This is bright. See if I can remember this. Bright, classic, curly, and Anderson. Okay. Bright, classic, curly, and anisine. Let's see. Yeah, just something random, so we get a little bit of a different sound going here. Yet again, like before, I'm arming the recorder and start to play back so that I record it. Okay, that should do. And I basically repeat the same process like before, so I will pause the video to not bother you. Just taking this first thing out, and I'm calling it C1 again, but this time added with a 1 behind it, just for me to actually say that this is another version of the same chord. Okay, so I will pause the video real quick to do this on the rest of the tracks, on the rest of the chords, and I'll be right back when this is done. Okay, here we go. Chords are all set. So to make things and life easier, I just go in here and just create a new project so that we can start from scratch and we have our initial sounds all loaded up right here and stuff like that. Yeah, now when I do tracks like this with melodic stuff and things, I'm kind of organizing my tracks a little bit on the Digitakt, and I start with the drums right here on the first 4 tracks and with melodic stuff on the last 4. So let's quickly go in and let's use these chords right here. So first let's load it. And I've quickly load C1, which is our basic chord, and just, yeah, come on, let's load these additional things as well. Okay, now on this one I assign it. And I take C1 directly, place a step right here, extend the pattern, and now I can do rhythmic stuff if I wanted to, and I probably want to do that. But let's just do something like this, I think. Yeah, just let's see, just a basic rhythm. Yeah, pretty basic. Now I switch the sample to C2, and because I'm lazy, I just copy the step and paste it right here. So that's it, and I repeat the same process for here, C3. And finally C4 for chord 4. Let's see how that sounds like. Okay, and now I want to loosen up this melody a little bit, this strict thing. And for that I'm using the additional chords that we have recorded. So let's see where I think that the steps might be necessary. I'm just trying out stuff, you know. So this could be the first variant. And this could be the third. Let's see. Yeah, and I think we can go more with this and just go in here and, for example, do something like this and make these sounds shorter. To have some kind of steps. But I don't want to do this right now. These are the chords for the background, and what I, however, want to do is I want to do kind of a sidechain effect on these. And to achieve this, it's not so easy with the steps that are inside, because I would have to bring in all these individual, all these individual trickless tricks in between and somehow get the volume so that it ducks right here, goes up here, and ducks right here, goes up here, and so on and so forth. And because the steps are a little bit off, because we are on the offbeat, it's not so easy to achieve this. So yet again, the easiest method is to just resample this. We still have our chords inside, and I just resample this thing. So here we go. And that's it. And this time I'm saving this thing as a simple sample and actually put it on this track. So here we go. Now I remove all of these steps that I don't need anymore. And just, yeah, it should be assigned already. So let's go out here and let's, turn the length to infinity. If we play this thing back, let's have a listen. Yeah, that's okay, that's working. So now I have the freedom of putting all of these trickless tricks in here and parameter locking their volumes to achieve this very sidechain effect. So let's do this real quick. Kind of like a simple chord fundament for our track. Going down to 30 because I don't want to duck them away completely. Just a little bit. Yeah, and now that we have that, I go to the first track, which is our kick track, and quickly bring in that kick as kind of a metronome, so to say. Yeah, that's not right, this is this one, so okay, let's have a listen. Probably too loud. But this is just demo, this is just to quickly check how it sounds. We will definitely change that kick later in the next video. Okay guys, so this is the start for the track, and I will quickly save the project so we can continue to work on this thing. Just call it new project, whatever. Yeah, and this is basically the first thing. Now I've recorded the whole loop of that chord, which I've more or less reassembled through these individual steps. I've sidechained it and everything, so we have this whole chord. And we still have our individual chord samples we can bring in later, and this is what I want to do. And so the next videos are about creating the drums and everything, percussion, and creating more melodic elements, also things like the bass and stuff like that and everything. And yeah, just simply bringing all of these things together so that we end up with a simple pattern that we can use as a fundament for our track. And then we will go in there and yeah, we will do a little bit of arrangement stuff. And yeah, that's about it. So okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for the next video in this little series. Until then, I wish you all the best, my friends, and I see you soon. Bye!